Hey YouTube, Jake Kilroy here, back in the shop for Little Shop ADHD. I believe this is number, whatever, it'll be in the title. Got a few things going on in the shop here. Working on a couple of parts. We're gonna have a little machining, with a little machining content. Got some 3D printing stuff going on. Got some new tool acquisitions. Let's get right down with it, okay? As far as 3D printing goes, well, hold on. Before we do 3D printing, I saw on Tom Lipton's video the other day this very nice edge finder that he was showing that he bought on eBay. And he did a very nice video demonstrating and testing said edge finder. And I used to have, I always called these top hat edge finders, but I used to have a top hat edge finder, a very nice one, until my children got a hold of it. And that was that. The spring was toast, shot, just destroyed. So anyway, when I saw this one, I said, hey, that looks pretty nice, and it was available on eBay, and so I purchased it, and it's a nice unit. It's got a 3/4 inch shank, which is kind of big, but it's got a nice, it does work. I've used it once since I got it, and it works quite well. But I was having trouble trying to figure out how I was going to store it in my tooling storage here, because it's taller than the drawer height of all these drawers. So, and I didn't want to rest it down on the spring. So I needed some way to store it in a laid down manner, but something to support it. So I designed a little cradle for it, and there you go. The unit fits down in there. This was I can't do anything with the 3D printer one time. This was Mark 1 of the edge finder. I originally intended to make this 2 pieces, a clamshell, and I was going to put some pins in it where you could slide these together and you could fully encompass the edge finder. And then I thought to myself, that's probably not a good idea, because I'll be looking for it one day and all I'll see is this black box and I don't remember it's in there. And plus, looking at the way the design works, it really, I didn't want to be picking it up by this end, again, putting strain on the spring. So I was having, what I have to do is take it out of the box, dump it into my hand. So I wanted the ability to be able to pick it up. So we're doing Mark 2. And in Mark 2, I got rid of the pinholes. I made these cavities here bigger, so that I don't have as much, basically just wasted print space. You don't need to print stuff in all this area that doesn't provide any support. And then what I did is I cut a notch in the middle here so that my fingers could go down around the part and you could pick it up and pull it out. So Mark 2 is on the printer right now. So I'll take the camera over and show you Mark 2. Just started, but you can see a little 3D printing action. All right, like I said, Mark 2 has just started, and I've got 2 of them running on the printer right here, and this will probably be about a 2 to 3 hour print job, realistically. I always try to start something every night before I leave to go to the house. That way you know, there's a nice surprise for me in the morning. But anyway, this is knocking on along. Maybe a little later in the video, I can come back and show you some of the, I'm using the honeycomb infill technique here. I can show you some of the honeycomb infill and some of the changes. Alright, so that's what's working on the 3D printing world. Move some of that stuff out of the way. I did some new tool acquisitions this week, so let's kind of go over some of that. First thing off of eBay, 4 pieces of high-speed steel that I got. They're 3/4 inch blanks, unused, and let me give you a close-up here. So for high-speed steel aficionados, notice the notch. What that means is, yes, if you can read it right there, maybe it says Steelite. So these are Steelite blanks, which is was a very early engineered metal or powdered metal type high-speed steel that is kind of a precursor to a lot of the modern carbides. This stuff's still in use. The reason it has this notch on it is because when you grind it, I believe you're supposed to grind it so that's up. If anybody has any feedback on that before I damage any of these, you know, let me know. I got 4 of these babies for $15 a piece, so it's a $60 purchase. In reality, if you want to master car or somewhere, or Travers somewhere, and try to just buy a single 3/4 inch high-speed steel blank of any decent quality, especially domestic quality, it's going to cost you in excess of $60. So this is a good deal and a good addition to the high-speed steel collection. So we're going to be putting these babies to use right here. All right, so got another tooling acquisition. We're going to do a little unboxing, so let me get a hold of that, bring it back, and we will unpack this new tooling acquisition that I am excited about this one. All right, here's the box. I'm gonna get the camera and zoom in a little closer. By the way, I haven't pointed out, but got on the red A-Bomb 79 shirt, that's right. Very comfortable, nice fit. It's a XX, fits well. So about what you expect for XX. So it's a good quality shirt. All right, I'm gonna try to zoom in on this and see if you can see it. Suburban Tool Inc. That's right. Anytime you get a box like this from Suburban Tool, it's cause for excitement. If you haven't been checking out Suburban Tool's website, our YouTube channel, look them up. I have not unpacked this, by the way, so this is fresh here. Oh, little desk swag, little Suburban Tool, subtool.com, link down below. And let's see here. Suburban Tool, Taft Pierce Metrology. 4141 North Atlantic Boulevard, Auburn Hills, Michigan. And they gave me a very nice little thank you note here for my order and included a small gift as their token of appreciation. So I do appreciate it. If you haven't checked out their YouTube videos, you need to check out their YouTube videos. They're done by Don Bailey, who I believe is the owner, or he's one of the executives there at Suburban Tool. He does a good video. He has nice screen presence, good sense of humor, and most importantly, tons of good information. So here, they also sent along a copy of their publications and videos, and probably catalogs and stuff like that on CD. Very nice. Make sure and check that out. And then the box inside a box. These are guys that know how to pack. These are guys that have been, they've probably had more, my goodness, that's heavy. See what I'm gonna do. They've probably had more stuff destroyed in shipping than I've made in my entire life. I'm sure they have. The company's been around for quite some time. And let's get it open here. Barely through the tape. All right. Again, great packaging. Spray foam, top quality. Operating safety instructions inside. That's nice. Again, a comment card, warranty registration and comment card to get customer feedback. Always a good sign, the company you want to deal with. And here's a little flyer, Suburban Tool flyer. If you're not familiar with Suburban Tool, you should check them out. I have one other Suburban Tool item. I have a 6x6, I believe it's a 6x6 Suburban Tool sign plate that I am very proud of and use occasionally. I don't have a surface grinder here in the shop, so I'd like one, but I don't have a surface grinder in the shop, and so I don't have a lot of call for the use of that sign plate. I have other ways to do angles and milling. So let's pop this out here. Let me see if you can see that. All right, this is it. This is what I ordered. Got the Suburban Tool fly cutter set. Those are probably the insert screws. Yeah, has some spare screws, which is nice. I lose these things like crazy. If I drop something on the floor, I like that. You can just kiss it. Here's the main body of the fly cutter. It's designed to mount on a face mill style arbor. And so I like that setup because I can mount this on an arbor for use in the Kearney Trucker on a 50 taper machine. I can also mount it on an arbor, an R8 arbor, for use in my Bridgeport clone for different work, for just depending on what I'm working on. So it's very adaptable. Looks like a zinc chromate finish. Parts very well made. I'm looking at it, and I'm pretty sure that they have this. This body's die cast, probably die cast. Very well made. So put that back in there, and then you have the arms. These are the arms that go. I don't know if you've seen one of these before, but there's 3 set screws here. So goes like so, and these 3 set screws engage this groove, and that's a great safety measure because you don't have to worry about launching that baby across the room. And I believe the minimum diameter is around 5.7 or so, and the maximum diameter is way on out there. There's a 5-inch arm, a 7-inch arm here. This is the 7-inch arm, very nice, very well made. Again, and then this is the 11-inch arm. So with this arm on a 50 taper arbor in my Kearney trucker, you could really reach out there and cover some area and not feel unsafe about doing it. So we're going to be putting this to use very soon in a soon to happen upcoming video, and I think that everybody is going to be pleased, hopefully, as I am with the outcome of this purchase. I'll show you some of the parts that I'm going to be hitting with this very soon in this video in just a few moments. So there we go. That's the big purchase, probably of more than the week. It's not a terribly inexpensive purchase, but I like it for a couple of reasons. It uses a regular negative TPG 4 series. I believe that's a 432 insert, which is an inexpensive insert, and easy to come by. And there's a lot of options, a zillion options in the TPG series of inserts. So it also uses a negative style insert, which is a no rake, which gives you 6 points on an insert, but the actual arm holds the insert in such a manner that it presents a positive rake. So you've got the best of both worlds. You've got a positive presentation with a no rake insert that gives you more cutting edges. So this is be a pretty economical tool to run. I've got a brand new face mill that I plan to put to use very soon that I showed in a recent video. And it's a great face mill, and I plan to put it to good use. But a 6-inch face mill is 8 inserts in this case. This is one. So that's the end of the new tooling acquisitions for this week. Real excited about this. I believe I have an arbor. I'll have to go dig through. I believe I have a 50 tape arbor that'll fit this already. I did not order one when I ordered this because I'm pretty sure I have one in my collection. I've got 30-something 50 taper tool holders, so I believe this one will work. I do not have an R8 holder that will support this, but I'll probably get one, I think, in some of the smaller diameters with lightweight materials. I feel comfortable in my mill using that. If you go on the Suburban Tool YouTube channel, there are a couple of videos that show this baby in action. Maybe 3 or 4 videos. And the tool shows an impressive, at least in the demonstration videos, caveat emptor, right? At least in the demonstration videos, the tool shows an impressive performance. So I'm looking forward to putting it through the ringer here. Here's one of the parts. So I make a part, an assembly for a product of mine that is a pulley, basically. And this is one of the side plates of the pulley, and it's an encoder pulley. So it's a pulley with a 9-inch diameter sheave on the OD with a groove cut in it, and a bearing, and then a 1,000 pulse per revolution encoder on that pulley. So, for obvious reasons why you want an encoder. So what I would like is to be able to use this face mill to take, these parts are water jet cut. I have these water jet cut, and they're 1/4 inch nominally. Here's one of the issues. their 1/4 inch, nominally 6061 plate. This is just standard, you know, Alcoa's best, right? And the parts work fine, but it's cast plate. It's constant. It's not. It's extruded. It's an extruded product. It's not a ground surface plate like Mike 6 or something like that. It's, you know, mill finish. So it's not as consistent over this surface area here as I would like it to give me to make sure that my 2 plates side to side are parallel and don't rub in any way on the pulley. It's a low force application, and I really can't have any friction, right? So I'd really like the ability to be able to just barely skim these puppies, right? And to square these things up. Well, not square them up, but, you know, skim them, smooth them out, take out any just as delivered irregularities. And I think this is going to work pretty well. I think this is going to give me a better surface finish than slab milling. Brian Block commented on one of my Google Plus posts that I might consider slab milling. I actually have a slab mill that'll cut this. Let me go get it and I'll show it to you. So here's our slab mill. I could certainly face the entire part off with this puppy. But I think the fly cutter is going to give me a better finish. Okay, guys and gals, what we have here is a little mini machining project from earlier in the week. I needed to take a oversized stainless steel bolt and mill the head down to more of a rectangular shape to fit a slot in a part. It's kind of a anti-rotation feature. So I've got the mill here. I've got the bolt mounted in a little toolmaker's vise, which is then mounted sideways, as you'll see, in the vise jaws on the Kearney Trucker. And then I've got my cool mist going here, and using a 3/4 inch 4-flute carbide end mill, we are knocking this baby down to size. Back over at the 3D printer, you can see progress being made on the parts here. We've built up a good 1/3 of an inch. You see the honeycomb infill pattern. I'm using a light infill pattern, infill ratio here, maybe 15%, and just uses less material and prints faster. Then you can see the cutout that I added for my hand to be able to go to pick the part up. So I'm making progress. All right, YouTube. Still at it here with our holder for our top hat edge finder. Here was phase 1. It was going to be a 2-piece affair. Trash can, I hit with one of those. Here's phase 2. So I made this piece right here. This is a little better. I liked it a little better because you could reach in. It's a little easier to reach in and get this out. Then I thought to myself, well, what is all this for? It's really kind of a waste. So here's phase 3. I can't do anything once or more than once. So this is the final version. They'll sit in a drawer like this, allow you to pick the unit up, put the unit down. So there you go. And I made a little extra for my buddy Tom Lipton, since he's the one that advertised this nice edge finder. And I'm going to send one of these to Tom so he can not have the same problem. All right. Let me get rid of these. And in the meantime, got a little viewer mail in here from Mike Powell of East Palestine, Ohio, wrote me a very nice note. Enjoys the work on the shaper. He's a high school shop teacher. You know, Mike, passing it on, buddy. I really respect educators for a lot of reasons. One, because you willingly sign up to deal with young people all day, every day. You have something going that I don't, but I do really appreciate it and respect it. He's looking for a shaper. So anybody in the kind of Ohio Midwestern region that knows of good shaper deals, pass them on to me and I'll pass them on to Mike. And you know, we're not looking, he hasn't said this, but this is just from me. You're not looking for an Atlas or a South Bend. Those are nice little hobby machines. And they're fun to use. Don't get me wrong, I started with the South Bend, great little machine. But it just takes so long to remove any appreciable amount of metal, right? So if anybody knows where you can find a nice, say, anywhere from say a 14 to say 20 inch, it's a nice size. Mine's a 20 inch, it's a nice size machine. It's got enough horsepower to remove some metal to where you don't, you know, it's fun to watch a shaper and it's very hypnotic, but you don't want to fall asleep, right? So anyway, he wants to see a keyway cut on one, so we are going to set up to do that here in a future video. Actually have a project coming in from a viewer that's going to require cutting some internal keyways on the shaper, and we're going to do multiple internal keyways on the shaper for this another viewer project. He was interested in the engine blocks. A lot of people ask questions about the engine blocks that are on the floor over here. I used to be big into hot rodding and you know, fast cars and all that. And I got married and had kids, and I mean, met the love of my life and had these gifts from God. And anyway, those are two Ford 460 blocks. They're 429 460 blocks. They're both actually service blocks, never been used, never had a piston in either of them. One of them's an original, and one of them's like a 72 vintage service block, and one of them's from the last batch of service blocks that were sold in 1988. So never used them. Was thinking, I'm a Ford guy, thinking about a hot rod for a while, but I just don't know if that's going to happen. Anyway, Mike sent this package. It was very nice. Mike, thank you very much for the very informative letter. Thank you for all you do to teach the young people of this country useful, marketable skills. And we are going to satisfy your desires to see some keyway cutting on the shaper here coming up very soon. And most importantly, thank you very much for your generosity. And your packaging skills are very respectable. Look at that. Mike has sent me a big bag of, looks like taper shank drills. Yeah. Still coated in some kind of Cosmolini atomic super gunk. Try to read the size here. .35/64. So anyway, he said he had an overabundance of drills, and so he sent some along. Excellent. Thank you very much, Mike. Appreciate that. That gunk on there is some kind of nasty. So we are going to get started. I told you there'd be a little more machine content in this video, so we're going to get on this part that's in this drawing down here. Let me get Mike's very generous gift to the shop put away, and then we'll get back on this here. So stay with it. More to come. All right, we got a little aluminum block here over at the mill, and per Tom Lipton and others, I don't remember the person that actually first ventured out and made this suggestion. I keep this back corner here at 0, 0. On the absolute side of my, you can go between absolute and incremental on your DRO. So I keep this as 0, 0 and absolute, and I can always get back to that by just switching over and resetting my incremental side. But so I basically have, it's real easy to come along, put a piece in, put a workpiece in on parallels, square it up like so, and then come out a 1/2 inch and come over 1.25 inches and pick up the hole for that 1/2 by 20 mounting hole. I don't have to get out an edge finder. I don't have to do any type of work like that. It's just drop it in and go to work. So long as you don't mess up your, as long as you remember to switch back and leave those that 0, 0 reading unmolested, you're fine. And as long as you don't move your vise, you're fine. If I swap my jaws, I may check it out and pick it back up. Like, you know, you may have to reset if you swap to a different set of jaws. But anyway, got our 1/2 by 20 hole here. It's for the for a stud that comes up out of here. So let's get a tap. All right, we got a 1/2 by 20 tap in here, and it's spiral point style, pushes the chips out in front of it. We're going to lube liberally and get us in back gear. There we go. Alrighty, now that our 1/2 by 20 hole side is done, again, using our reference point here as 0, this is pretty easy. Right? It's not hard work when you're doing it the easy way, right? So we're going to drill 2 holes on this side. Better drawings make better parts. Now when you're using a DRO, and if you're going to be using a 0, 0 point like this, then what you do is pick a 0, 0 point on your part, right? And then do all your dimensions from that point. Makes it real easy. All you got to do is make the numbers on the drawing, match the numbers on the DRO. Center drills are for lathes. Spotting drills are for mills. Might want to turn it around the right way. Alright, we're getting ready to set up to cut our bevels. And you've probably seen these little jewels. These are squares from Stan at Bar Z Industrial. Check out Stan's channel. And what may not be obvious, these little flanges. See this little flange on here? This little flange on there. Well, watch this. This little flange right here is going to rest on the fixed jaw. this flange right here is going to hold the part. Booyah, we are complete. Right, those little squares, I'm telling you, Stan, you rock, my man. These are fantastic. I'm gonna have to get me some bigger ones because these are perfect. This size right here is perfect for a 6-inch Kurt, right? The distance, this is the distance of your jaw right here, right? So it's just absolutely fabulous, right? So this is just a great product, well made. I keep them in my top drawer. These go next to the center finders. These go next to the Noga deburring tools. This is a go-to product right here. Stan at Bar Z Industrial. Check the man's channel out. All right, so we got our block mounted up, ready to cut that 45-degree bevel using Bar Z's fantastic vice square. We got us a 2-flute 5/8" end mill. We got us some WD-40 aluminum lube, and we're going to fire this up, and we're just going to cut these bevels. So there's our part. There are the two halves of the pulley assembled. Obviously there's a lot more parts that go on this. Got to build the actual sheave that goes on here. Have to build the bearing holders and encoder mount. And that's what's next. So look for videos soon. Thanks to Mike for the generous gift. Here's the encoder, just to show you. There we go. Look forward to use of that new fly coater that we got. Actually going to be skimming these right here, just barely. And well, that's about it for now. Be safe in the shop. I'll talk to you soon.